So I didn't recognize that I was depressed. I thought I was overextended, tired, and just having a tough time as a mother with 3 young kids, as a working mother with 3 young kids. I was more irritable. I started to not care about the things that I'm most passionate about. I wasn't running. I wasn't enjoying time with my awesome kids. My husband and I were growing distant, but really it was me retreating into this darkness that in the time I didn't recognize how bad it was getting, but I did recognize how numb I was getting. My lowest point came in December of 2018. I had been fired from my job. I was kicked out of my house because I was a danger to myself and my children. And I was at a friend's house, and it's the first time I ever had a suicidal thought and started to act out on that suicide. I just felt as though I had lost everything that was important to me, and the scariest thing in that moment was how numb I was to it. That the things that I used to care about just didn't seem to impact me anymore. And so I started to drink very heavily, but was texting some people, and they read between the lines and called the police, and I was taken to a hospital. This friend from Stanford Hospital reached out and said, there is another option for you to treat your depression, and it's called TMS. I had never heard about it, but at that point I was willing to try anything, because even though I was in the facility and my health was getting better, I still felt that deep depression and that numbness that was so hard for me to navigate. And knowing that I had that, I knew I wasn't in a good place to return to my family and the life I had back in Philadelphia. So I followed through with my friend who got me in touch with Acacia. The experience was, walking in the door here was really pleasant. The first time I met Dr. Carrion, I felt like I had hope again. He was kind, he was compassionate, he listened to my story and was able to offer me immediate and long-term solutions. And I remember walking out of the doors feeling like I have a chance again. And it's the first time I felt that in a very long time. The magnet comes down, you're comfortable in the chair, and it's just a low pressure that sits on your head for about 10 to 30 minutes depending on your treatment. But the time always flew by, and what was so great about it were the conversations I was able to have with the technician or the doctor, depending on the day. It felt as though I was getting many therapy sessions every single day, and that was so valuable to me. Right now, I feel really, really good. And just to say that is something I didn't think was ever possible again in my life. And I came here in such a dark space, and not only was I not sure if this was gonna work, but I had also lost a lot of hope that anything would ever work. And I had accepted that maybe my life was gonna be as hard as it felt back in December. But I remember about 2 weeks into treatment waking up, and it felt as if things were brighter. It felt like things were less of an effort that I wanted to do in my life. And then motivation started. I was motivated to meet up with friends. I was motivated to work out. And very slowly, day by day, I just kept feeling better and better. And even though my life still has some hardships that I'll be facing in the very near future, I feel like I have the confidence in myself, the motivation, and the hope to make the improvements that I need to make. There are no words that truly encapsulate how grateful I am to have walked into this office, to have been treated by such an exceptional staff, to have the level of care at a time when I had given up so much hope in my life. And the gratitude I have for that and the thanks that I give can probably best be seen by sharing my experience so that other people who are in that desperate state that I was in last December know that there is a better life ahead of you, and walking through these doors gave me that opportunity.